Oh, welcome back to the program. Quebec gives police expanded powers to find COVID rule breakers. Police can now get a fast telewarrant. They can actually go in and break into a home of people having a party who are in violation of the COVID rules and fine them up to $1,000. That's a response to the surge in cases in that province. Someone who knows all too well about the dangers of COVID is the leader of the Bloc Quebecois, Yves-François Blanchet, who just returned to Parliament after spending 2 weeks in isolation with COVID-19. What does he think about the Quebec rules for police? Do they trample on the civil liberties, or are they needed right now? And after voting for the new spending measures from the federal government, why is the Bloc still not going to vote for the speech from the throne and force a confidence vote? Let's find out. Joining us now is Bloc Quebecois leader Yves-François Blanchet. Great to have you here from your riding in Quebec. And by the way, very good, sir, to see you in good health. I'm glad that's okay. I mean, you have a personal experience with COVID-19. Now the President of the United States has been tested positive for it. What's it like, and what's your view on how he contracted the virus?
I must admit that to Mr. Trump, like to anybody else, I wish him to go through that as easily and as well as possible. And I want the campaign in the United States to go on, and I want the people to be offered a real choice. So there must be a campaign. He is in a different situation because he's not that young, and he's got a few conditions that could make it a little harder for him to go through it. And we cannot make as if there was not some kind of irony in that situation with him.
Let's talk about how Quebec is handling it. Police in Quebec have got the power to get a rapid telewarrant if they think someone in one of those red zones like Montreal is having a party which breaks the new rules. The police can enter and fine them for $1,000. Are you concerned that this could violate the civil liberties of the people of Quebec by lowering the threshold police need for probable and reasonable grounds to enter into someone's house?
I wouldn't have liked to be the one to make such a decision, but there's something that we have stopped saying and we should keep saying, is that there's much more about this disease that we do not know than there is that we do know. And there are some measures that have to be taken without being absolutely certain that this is the right thing to do, but something has to be done. And I am absolutely certain that the government of Quebec and Mr. Legault are doing the best they can.
I want to just go to federal politics. In August, you said that your party would force a confidence motion over the We scandal unless the Prime Minister, the Finance Minister, and Justin Trudeau's Chief of Staff, Katie Telford, resigned. Well, the Finance Minister has resigned. Are you still ready to force another confidence motion over the We controversy?
The idea was never to go or not to go into election. The idea has always been to go if the government is unworthy of its mandate. What happened is that the Prime Minister decided to throw Mr. Monod to the crocodiles, and then he, I don't know what's the word in English, he prorogé, and said that there would be a speech of the throne, and then he made his official and solemn address to the nation. We supposed that we had to give him a chance to start anew. We are very unhappy with what's the content of the speech of the throne. Actually, there's no real content in the speech of the throne, but violation of the province's jurisdictions.
But I'm just trying to figure this out. You don't like what they're doing, but there's a confidence motion. You had an opportunity not to support them, and your party, like everybody else, supported the Liberals' extension of the enhanced EI to take people off the CERB, the paid sick leave. So you're voting for these key huge $50 billion, and yet you don't support the government. I'm trying to figure that out.
I will be the one defining the meaning of our votes, if you do not mind. We voted for a law that did the content of which was for a very large part what we had been asking for a long while, what the Conservatives had been asking for a long while, and also the NDP. It was not a vote of confidence. The law has been adopted unanimously. This vote of confidence is a show. It's only show business put forward by the government trying to create for itself.
Technically, it's a confidence motion because it's a motion of money, supply. $50 billion is a confidence motion, whatever you want to call it. You know that and I know that.
Okay. But when the result of something is so clear that everybody was in favor of the law, saying that it had to be adopted under attribution of time, or saying that it is a vote of confidence, is placing politics and partisanship before the best interest of the people, and of the people who are sick, or of the people who fear to be sick, or the people who lose their job.
You know, again, I'm just trying to appreciate this. You accepted that. That's a huge, huge bill. I agree with you. It certainly didn't get a lot of parliamentary debate, only 4.5 hours on that. Nonetheless, you guys voted for it. So what else would you like to see to support the speech from the throne? I mean, you've taken a 50 billion bite out of the cookie. What else is there?
The content of the speech of the throne had many things with which we do not agree. There's this infringements on jurisdictions of the provinces. There's this pretense of relance verte, green recovery, which is not in the plan. There's no such thing in the plan, and we have absolutely no reason to trust that the government is doing something right with this speech. Most of all, the government has decided to suspend the activities of the parliament and go with a speech of the throne, which was supposed to present to the population of Quebec and Canada what was the plan. There's no plan. There are some vague intentions. It is the promises of this government for the last election being repeated in the speech of the throne, admitting, doing so, that nothing was done of what was promised before. And this is not a plan to get out of the crisis.
Monsieur Blanchet, I got to leave it there. Great pleasure to have you on the program, sir. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.